So is it 4:30 by your clock?
Almost exactly.
All right. Well, since we have a quorum, I will call the meeting to order. And could I ask for the roll call, please?
Abendroth. Allen.
Here.
Bryant.
Here.
Crosby. DeFonce. Drennan.
Here.
Latta. LePage. Lamonto.
Here.
Mandeville.
Here.
McDonald.
Here.
Minnick.
Here.
Purick. Roland.
Here.
Requests to be excused were received from Mary Abendroth, Darcy Purick, Liz DeFonce, and Linda Crosby. And we have a quorum.
Okay. So the first order of business is the consent agenda, which includes the approval of absences, approval of the October 25th, 2021 agenda, approval of the minutes of the September 27th, 2021 meeting, and the committees for which there are no reports at this time, which include advocacy, executive, finance, health plan, negotiating, personnel, and property. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll move it.
Nikki, do we have a
Yes.
second?
I'll second.
I'll second. Oops.
Was that Scott I heard first?
Yes.
Okay, so second by Scott. Thank you, whoever the third person was. Any discussion? There being none, all those in favor of approving the consent agenda, please signify by saying aye or waving your hand at me or something so I know that you approve of it. Motion is approved. Public comment period. There's no public in my house, so is there any public anywhere?
No.
No public anywhere, darn. Communications.
I don't have anything on this end. The only thing that I can say that we received was the resignation from you, Lisa, unfortunately. So, and that's it.
Do you have that so you can read it?
I think I do in here. I don't have my glasses, so it might be a little difficult. Okay. This is the letter of resignation from Lisa. Although I have enjoyed my time on the board, I find myself in a place in my life where, sorry, I can't see without my glasses, when I need to step back and rest. I thought my term ended in December of this year, but it does not. It continues until 2023. I regret that I cannot manage to hang in there, so I will formally letting you know that I will be resigning from the board as of December 31st, 2021. This means Franklin County will need a representative to fill the remainder of my term, and my apology to Gail for that. Sincerely, Lisa Minnick.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So there's no other communications from anybody? Okay, president's remarks. Let's see. Coming up at the next meeting, we'll be discussing meeting dates for next year. So you should receive those ahead of time. Please look through them and make sure that there are not major conflicts that you see. And if so, please bring that to our attention so we can fix the dates for next year's meetings. And since at the moment, the nominating committee does not appear to be present, are they not present? Did they send a report?
Did not.
Nothing. Okay. Well, I'll just mention that I know that Gail LePage is working on it, and she'll be presenting you with a hopefully a slate of officers that you can vote on at the next meeting, and hopefully that will get out to you ahead of time also, so that you will have some idea who's running for what and what openings there still are. And that's really all I have. Thank you. So we're on to,
Lisa, this is your next to last meeting, and I would just like to say thank you very much for your dedication, your services. The depth of your knowledge is really going to be missed.
thank you. Appreciate that, Nikki. Plattsburgh Public Library report.
And just a side note, is that me?
No, it's me.
Oh, that Karen Glass is here to represent the SEPTA group. So for Plattsburgh Public, the driveway project is done. That went really well. And thank you to Steve for being the overseer of that project. And thank you, Michael, for the bill. Our meeting is tomorrow, so we'll get that approved then. Really just, we were really glad that the directors got together. We used to meet 4 times a year and we got away from that. So with all the new directors, it was, which none of them came because I don't know if they work on Mondays or they couldn't get subs, or that was kind of why it quit meeting, but it was a great way to get together. And we're just moving ahead with our roofing project. AEDA is preparing our bidding documents, and we're going to go from there. So that's all I have for.
Thank you, Ann. Any questions for Ann? Okay, thanks again, Ann. Director's report. Steve, you're up.
Okay, as Ann mentioned, SEPTA has been reconstituted. They do have a board liaison that should be reporting at each board meeting. And that's going to be Karen Glass from Keene Valley. Karen, do you have anything to share with us?
I do. Is now a good time?
Yeah, now's the time.
All right. Well, like Ann said, a group of us found that we really wanted to get together as directors and re-energize SEPTA. So we did that. We're meeting 4 times a year. There were directors that we had not, they're not new anymore, but they were new to the meeting. And we were glad that they were there, both Ann Paulson and Ben from Tupper Lake and Hillary Hinge, people who had started after we had sort of disbanded the group. So we were really glad, and we hope to see more of them. Our purpose is really to support new directors and kind of mentor them through some of the problems that we know we face as directors. Things that actually CEF doesn't always have concerns with, like, or experience with, like, just like taking fines and building issues and board issues. So we want to share ideas and inspire each other through those meetings. We met on the 18th of October. We also said farewell to Cheryl Blanchard, who in Willsboro, who's leaving, and she's been there more than 20 years. And there were a couple of us there who had been there almost as long. So we were really glad to celebrate her and her work. So there were 12 libraries there. One of the nice things we do is we go around the table just to see where everybody is and what they're doing. And we talked about construction problems, projects, and programming that we're doing. And we always get ideas. What someone is doing now, somebody else goes, oh, I could modify that and do that at my library. And then we have somebody we know that is doing it, and we can follow their lead. So that's always a really interesting thing. There were lots of worries over slowdowns and over COVID safety. But what came through is our resilience to reinvent ourselves and offer community what they need at this time. And that's really wonderful. Even if these things aren't necessarily traditional, libraries are stepping up as a community resource. Then we talked also about issues, some of the issues we have. And one of them is E-rate. We need to find a way to help each other through E-rate and hopefully with CEF's help. The other thing that came through very strongly is we recognize that CEF really is working often with much less than when we started, less people, less money, and yet the work and the help they give us is invaluable. So we're all very grateful for that. And I have to say that, David, your name came up a number of times. I hope your ears were ringing because we really appreciate the work and the help you've given us with grants and with technology. So we will meet again in, I think we said January. And we look to meet 4 times a year, and we look to really be each other's support and to bring in more new directors with in 2 ways. One with personal invitations, but the other is that we have the ability to make that meeting in different places so that we will meet at the libraries of the new directors. So we can meet there, and that brings them into the fold. So that's our minutes for, or that's our contribution for this meeting. And you'll hear from us again in January.
Thank you, Karen. The SEFTA report will be added to the agenda.
Okay.
We're looking forward to that. Karen is now on the distribution list. She'll get the same packet as the rest of the board. So she'll know where we are. Okay, I have a couple of things.
Just 1 minute. Gail is waiting to be let into the meeting.
Thank you. Thank you, Hope.
Yep.
Yay, she can make a roll report. Yay.
I don't have her.
I think she was on there and then.
Would you be all right if if somewhere a little bit later I left the meeting?
That's fine.
Thank you, because I didn't exactly remember to be planned to be here, so I have another commitment. Thank you.
Hope I don't have her on the list right now as wanting to come in. Maybe she'll try again. I apologize.
It says, she said, I haven't had this trouble before.
Yeah,
She's
the
been
list doesn't
getting
have
so-
anyone. David, she's just not on the list. I just don't have her on the list. You know, I have
She'd pop up
participants
on the list if she was in the waiting room.
What's that?
She would pop up on your list at the top
She
of
was
the
on
list if she was in the
on there?
waiting
She
room.
was.
Brenda said she was on there. I didn't see her.
Maybe someone
So
could
she
drop
may
her a
have
note.
left.
We'll watch to see if she tries to rejoin.
Tell her I apologize.
Well,
On the direct access plan that we can't approve until we've had a majority of the libraries boards approve it. We are now at 14 libraries that have approved it. We need 2 more. I have full confidence that we'll have those and be able to approve this at the November meeting.
Thank you.
We do have some musical chairs going on with our directors. Right now, we have a couple of new directors, a couple that are moving from one library to another, and several that are vacant or are advertising right now for that position. And we've got 9 libraries now that are either brand new or in the midst of transition or looking to hire. We had 2 internal movements, I guess you might say. Laura, who's been, not Laura, Jenny, who was at Moore's, took the position at Payne Memorial, so she'll be replacing Cheryl. And it's nice to keep them in the family. Also, Hillary Hollister Hinge, who was the Belden Noble Memorial Library, has moved over to the Westport Library. And so those two are taking place. There's still several that are vacant. It's going to be a rough year with annual reports. With so many new directors, we're trying to figure out how to best meet that challenge. One of the things that has been done is Anya has created a mentor program where we match an experienced librarian with a new librarian so that they can have a resource that kind of sees things their way. And then, of course, everyone here at CEF is ready to help in any way we can. And other than that, what's in the written report is my report.
Thank you, Steve. Any questions for Steve?
I have a question about the 2 hours of professional development that's required for all board members, including local libraries.
Yes,
What constitutes professional development?
what constitutes professional development? That's what you asked.
Yes, what qualifies as a professional development opportunity?
It has to be specific training for trustees given by an acceptable presenter. And they have listed each of the systems as eligible presenters. So we can provide that training to you and expect that probably that will be how most of you will fulfill that requirement.
Okay.
Does the sexual harassment training count?
It should.
Okay.
That train left the station without me. Anyway,
Okay, any other questions for Steve? Okay, then we're on to the financial reports, and we have the financial report from August. We need a motion to approve and a second.
Don't move. Can you hear me?
Gayla moved.
I'm here finally.
Hello, welcome to the meeting. Anybody want a second? Hope is seconding. Okay, so Michael, is there anything you think we need to know about the financial reports?
I am working my hardest to get up to date with the report. I do apologize. I'm also trying to work getting some reports to the auditors so we can get a hopefully 990 by November 15th out. There was this it's not a mess up, it just was a problem with the payroll and while I was away, and I'm working on correcting that also. It is taking a little of my time to do this correction, but I think in the next couple of days that will be fixed. We are awaiting the rest of our funds to come in. We have all the reports that we usually get when we get the money, but the money still has not been put into our bank account. You know, like the literacies, central book aid, central library development aid, state correction aid, we still haven't received it. So we're waiting on it. So we do have funds in our bank account, you know, to take us for a while. And that's basically,
Okay, does anybody have any questions for Michael?
oh, and I'm also working on the budgets.
Oh, good. It's getting late.
I know.
What was I gonna ask you? I noticed there were a couple of items and I don't know the exact line numbers, but they were quite high, but then there were others that were quite low and you had notes about adjusting the budget. So I suspect it all balances out.
Yes, it does.
Okay,
And we're still, we spent less than, this, same time last year. We were at 665,000 last year and we're 609,000. We've only spent 63% of our budget.
okay,
But again, you know, some of the funds have been spent, you know, like state corrections, you know, and,
Right. Right. Okay. Any other questions for Scott or Michael about the budget, finances, anything like that? Okay, there being none. All in favor of approving the financial reports as presented, please signify by saying aye and please wave your hand at me or something.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Anybody abstaining? Motion carried. Committee reports. We have a report from the nominating committee, perhaps.
Well, I'm working on it. I haven't received anything from the Clinton County people as to any recommendations. I have some queries out for Franklin County, and Hope and I will work on getting that one filled. And that's where I am at this point, but I don't know, you know, as far as Clinton goes, I need people to recommend people so I can reach out to them. Cause I really can't, I don't know people. I mean, I know people over that way, but you know, but I prefer, everybody's been really good usually about, you know, telling me people that might be interested. So if they would please try to think about it and just send me names and then I'll do the rest of it.
Thank you, Gayla.
Mm-hmm.
Are you working on the officers for next
Yes,
year?
I am. Nobody's come forward. So that means within the next 3 weeks, I will be kind of nagging people. You know, I'd prefer to stay, you know, I'd like to stay secretary. But if I have to move up, I could, but I just took on a big thing with the Retired Education New York state position. So I really don't, you know, want to. So please just check out your heart and see if you can do it. None of it is really because this organization runs so smoothly that, right, Lisa, it's not like it's a lot of work. So
It's
yeah.
not a lot of work.
No, you know, and it's, I mean, I just, and I said, I will stay secretary and stuff like that, but please reach out within the next week. I'll really send personal emails to ask people.
Thank you.
Uh-huh.
Okay. Any unfinished business? Okay, under new business, the system folks have been busy. They sent out requests for quotes for the snow removal and they got exactly one response from the same people who did it last year for the same amount as last year. And because November is coming up and you know what is flying on Whiteface, we need to do something about our contract for snow removal. So I guess we basically need to make a motion to pay our person who sent in the bid and approve it.
I'll
make
that motion.
Okay, Nikki made the motion and Gayla seconded.
Yeah, I will. I'll
Okay.
start a question.
Okay.
Were you
Questions?
happy with this person last year? Did everything go well?
Yes, he charges $700 a month from November to March. And then after April and after, it's 175 per occurrence. we almost had an occurrence in April, but no, and he comes before we're here. You know, he cleans it out, does a great job. And he kept the price the same as last year.
Awesome. Then if you're happy with him, and we aren't over there to see his daily work. So, and if you're happy with him and it's still the same price, I have no problem with that. I just wanted to know.
He's happy that we have a new driveway also.
There you go. There you go. Okay.
Anybody else have any questions or comments? There being none, all those in favor of hiring our snow removal person, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Anybody abstaining? We have a snow removal person. So you can get that taken care of, Steve. And that's our completed order of business, unless somebody has something else for the good of the board. Okay, I think we're all set then. That was a record quick meeting. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Good night,
Are
everybody.
we going to go ahead with the negotiating committee meeting?
Yes,
Okay.
Oh, that's right. I won't leave this meeting, will I?
Okay,
You're
but everybody
stuck.
else should. That's not on the negotiating committee, right?
Yeah,
Right.
right.
Okay,
Sounds good.
thanks, people.
Uh-huh.
Have a good day,
Have a good night,
everyone.
everybody.
Yep.